The three main components of a successful strategy for educating all children, especially children with ADHD or ADD, are academic instructions, behavioral interventions, and classroom accommodations. By incorporating these techniques for these three areas into your everyday instructional and classroom management practices, teachers will be empowered to improve both the academic performance and the behavior of their students, and particularly students with ADHD or ADD. In doing so, the teacher will create an enhanced learning environment for all students. Welcome to Ruth Straight Talk, the channel designed to help you, your students, and your children live fuller lives, become lifelong learners, and grow into the awesome human beings you were designed to be. I'm Cynthia Ruth. In this video, I will share with you some steps to developing classroom management skills that will be effective for all of your students. Also, don't miss my bonus tip at the end of this video. So if this video is for you, let's get right to it. Whether you are a regular school teacher, a homeschooling mom, or an online school teacher, the goal of the teacher is to help students learn in an environment that is free from disruptions, even low-level disruptions, so that students could focus primarily on the learning. Effective teaching and positive functioning classrooms, even ones without low-level disruption behavior, require planning and consistency. So here are 5 strategies which have been found to contribute to these positive outcomes. Number 1, develop clear, simple rules and expectations. Clear, simple rules and expectations which are constantly and fairly applied. Make your classroom's rules short and few, no more than 5. Post these rules in a prominent place in the classroom and remind your students of them often. Choose the most important rule and develop a slogan with it. For example, you could begin every class with something like you would say, "In this classroom we will always," and then the kids will finish the slogan, "Respect our teacher, our classmates, and ourselves." Also hold everyone accountable for following those rules. Number 2, use predictable events and activities. Predictable events and activities through establishing routines, information, cues, and signals about the forthcoming transitions and changes, as well as for content, duration, and consequences for these activities. Students respond well to activities that are consistently applied. For example, every day, the students know that the first thing they do when they enter the classroom is to turn in their homework in the homework bin and then get seated and begin to work on their vocabulary for the day. So, while the content of the lesson will change, the format of the lesson should be consistent. This way, when the students enter the classroom, they are entering with a mindset to learn, and they will immediately turn their homework into the bin, sit down, take out their vocabulary notebooks, and begin working on the notebook and the vocabulary for the day. And once you've taught your students this, as the teacher, you probably will not have to say that again or say it too often, because they are coming in with that mindset to work. Number 3, offer frequent use of praise, both verbal and nonverbal. Teacher praise has demonstrated effects on both the earnings and those that are nearby. Verbal praise should be specific and descriptive, such as coming in quietly, settling down and working on your vocabulary words. Good job, folks. Nonverbal cues such as making eye contact with students and smiling tells the student that you are glad that he is here in your class. Even disruptive students need positive affirmation. Teachers should try to provide a child with at least 4 praise statements for every reprimand statement. Number 4, provide support for your struggling students. Because disruptive behavior is often associated with learning deficits, task difficulty needs to be monitored. All students need to have the required entry skills and ability to successfully engage in assigned activities. So it is up to you as the teacher to know your students' capabilities and put accommodations in place to support their learning. If a student feels that he cannot do the assignment, he probably won't even try. Instead, he will resort to something that he can do well, such as disrupting the class. Perhaps if you pair that struggling student with a classmate that can help him, both students will be on task and the disruption would be averted. Number 5, give the student opportunities to respond and participate in classroom activities. To use the material and to respond to requests must be inclusive of all children in the class. It is disastrous for a teacher to consistently call on one particular student or one group of students for praise or participation. The teacher must be mindful to include all students in all activities, even the super quiet students that you see more than you hear. This gives the child a sense of belonging, and everyone needs to belong. So one student may be teacher's helper to pass out the materials today, but a different student can be behavior monitor, and another student could be the person to read the text of the day. The next day you want to rotate with another group of students different from the ones of yesterday. Your rotation can occur as often as you see necessary, just to make sure that every single student gets a chance to participate in classroom activities. The bonus strategy is to give students ownership of classroom behavior. When students are a part of creating something in the classroom, they will take ownership of it. So when you initially set up your classroom rules, discuss it with your students. Ask them why the rules are important. Ask them what are the most important rules for the class. It's okay to offer your ideas to lead the class in the direction that you want them to go, but let them verbalize the rules. Also, let them put in place the consequences for not following the rules. Children tend to be very harsh on themselves with punishment. So you can be the good guy in the room to suggest a much lighter punishment. When all is said and done, the students will hold themselves responsible and others hold their classmates responsible for the rules and keeping them in place, and you will be free to teach. So there you have it, several ideas to help you develop a successful behavior management strategy for all of your students, including students with ADD and ADHD. If this video has helped you, please leave me a comment at the bottom of the screen. Also, if you have a story, a tip, a strategy, a question, or just some advice that you would like me to share with my audiences, please also leave me a comment at the bottom of the screen. Click on these videos above for more awesome information on education and parenting. As always, it is a pleasure to have you visit with us at ruthstraighttalk.com. As always, happy learning, and until next time, goodbye.